With just 6 days to go, state lawmakers are debating some important bills before the session ends next week.
Everything really from energy, marijuana, and restrictions on ICE. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, has all the details plus reaction.
The clock is ticking. This year's legislative session ends on Wednesday, but there's still plenty of work to do. In these final days, lawmakers are hoping to create new policies for clean energy. A bill now in the legislature would provide financial subsidies for residential and commercial customers if they want to use solar. It would also give financial incentives to companies who want to store solar energy. But Republicans are critical, saying subsidies would mean increased costs passed on to electric customers.
This is an unconscionable policy. It's extraordinarily expensive. It will result in billions of dollars in new costs on the backs of consumers into the future.
They're taking advantage of the affordability crisis to put fear into people's minds. The whole structure of this thing is intended to lower ratepayer costs, and particularly the public benefits which they focus on.
Another controversial bill would create restrictions on ICE. The bill allows Connecticut residents to sue federal agents in state court. It also would make churches, schools, and hospitals protected areas, and agents would need a warrant to enter.
It's a strong statement that we want to close a loophole and ensure accountability when people's constitutional rights are violated by federal officers.
But Senate Republicans say this plan won't hold up in court.
I don't think ICE should do whatever they want whenever they want, but this bill does nothing about that. So there's nothing in this bill that is going to be upheld legally, and the Democrats know that.
Another bill that's going to be taken up in the Senate deals with cannabis sales. Democrats say Connecticut is losing money to neighboring states because the THC in their products is higher. They feel the solution is allowing Connecticut businesses to raise THC content and create a flat tax for all products. But Republicans feel raising THC is the wrong approach to making money, that substance abuse is a real problem. Education has also been a big issue this legislative session. This weekend, lawmakers will vote on an adjustment to the state budget, which will give $270 million to cities and towns all across the state. It is a lifeline for Connecticut schools. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News at the State Capitol.